There are inferences on what happened to Leroy Jethro Gibbs and Mike Frank's first NIS team in NCIS because of the flagship series' extensive history with NCIS Origins. The most recent spin-off in the show delves into Agent-in-Charge Gibbs' past, reigniting discussions about his former co-workers. The program brings back important characters from Gibbs' past, including Vera Strickland and Mike Franks. Through the introduction of new characters whose involvement strengthens the story of what happened to Gibbs' wife and daughter in NCIS, the cast of NCIS Origins also takes ties from Gibbs' narrative out of the shadows. An established character's narrative is strengthened by NCIS Origins, a noteworthy endeavor for the franchise. The prequel changes the plot and perspectives of Gibbs' story by going into further depth about how he dealt with his family's passing. The fate of important NCIS Origins characters, such as Gibbs' mentor, is one of the unchangeable realities set in the main NCIS series. The NCIS franchise has filled in numerous gaps with available information and foreshadowing within the narrative that explains where each member lands, even if many elements of the NCIS Origins plot and Gibbs' initial NIS squad are still unknown. Roma Mafia develops a strong persona as Vera Strickland, despite the fact that she only makes one appearance in the main series, although her one appearance in NCIS Origins is sufficient to predict the exact direction of Vera's journey. It also allows for a number of shocks in her story, since the program first featured Vera in NCIS Season 11, Episode 3, Under the Radar. The most significant information we can infer about the character from her debut appearance is that she is still alive in 2013. Because of her looks, Vera will survive the prequel series, something that NCIS cannot promise for all of the prequel characters. When Vera visits the Navy Yard in Season 11, everyone is reminded of Ziva David's NCIS departure because Cote de Pablo's character left in the previous episode. Gibbs assigns Vera to the investigation after Ziva is absent, and McGee loses his NCIS credentials while performing with Abby. She works with Anthony DiNozzo as part of the team investigating an explosion at Lieutenant Junior Grade Terrence Keith's residence, even though she begs Gibbs not to send her since she only has 2 weeks remaining in her career and doesn't want to endanger herself. Vera is focused on her next chapter when she shows up. Vera says she only has a few weeks left until she takes off on her Hog, a vintage Harley Electra Glide 4-stroke V-twin motorbike, and rides out into the sunset. Despite not having visited NCIS headquarters in 2 decades, the agent is there to meet with Leon Vance. Timothy McGee is informed by the director that Vera is processing out and spending the final weeks before her retirement at headquarters. She is from Gibbs' past, as evidenced by Vera calling the agent in charge Proby. Later on, Gibbs mentions that Mike Frank's final partner was Vera. She had a very special relationship with Gibbs' mentor, Vera tells DiNozzo. This Origins delves further into the intricacies of Frank's and Vera's relationship, highlighting the tension between their interaction in a male-dominated industry. And this Origins co-showrunner Gina Lucita Monreal stated in an interview with TV Line that Vera was positioned at Camp Pendleton when the show's makers looked at Gibbs' chronology, which made her a clear pick for the cast, via Cinema Blend. She made the following comments on Vera's inclusion during the interview. Vera gets off early because of her line-of-duty injuries, even though she suffers a significant ankle sprain at the end of her inquiry with Tony. We may thus presume that Vera resigned from NCIS safely, took advantage of her retirement to go on joyrides, and occasionally paid Gibbs a visit, even though she is aware that Gibbs leaves the front door unlocked. Vera is one of the flagship's most resilient one-off characters, even though her participation on NCIS was limited to a single episode. The appearance also informs NCIS Origins viewers that Vera will live till her retirement, but not before she first becomes Mike Frank's formal partner. Although Randy's fate is unknown, NCIS Origins Episode 8 offers a more in-depth examination into Caleb Martin Foot's personality. More in-depth information on Randy and his objectives is provided in Episode 8, which may also hint at the direction of his journey. Randy tells a Catholic priest he is protecting during the trip that he was originally designated as the security detail for Shannon and Kelly's case, but requested to be relieved of the prominent position because of personal issues. Randy admits that he made his request because he was stressed and tired from having a sick infant at home. Although Randy holds himself responsible for Special Agent Kurt Mitchell's tragic outcome, his ability to recognize when to step back from his profession ultimately saved his life. Randy is shown as a family-oriented agent in NCIS Origins, mainly in Episode 8, which deviates from the franchise's tendency to have special agents without families or a healthy work-life balance. Randy is new to the NCIS franchise because he is never mentioned in Gibbs' tale. However, Randy does not necessarily suffer a terrible destiny merely because the special agent does not exist later. Randy, on the other hand, demonstrates his ability to defend himself by his actions.